1, and go.
MNC, it's MNC. He gon' rack it up, to get your game on, and he gon' bag it up. Y'all know what mooch on, mooch and crap, mooch and crap, mooch and crap, mooch and crap. It's that time to get ready for the MMC show. Grab your coffee or your liquor, cause we ready to roll. They talking games, custom gadgets, and you already know. Dial that number, leave them questions, and away they go. Be a pony or a bot, the truth be it don't matter. We just gamers talking games, not those drama queens matters. So let's talk about gaming, news, leaks, and reviews. This a fan show on whatever topic y'all choose. True Xbox fans, and y'all know we bleed green. Yet we got every console we can play, everything. Got that Forza, got that Halo, got that Fallout, got that Kratos, got that Zelda, got that Spidey, got that AC, got it Ike, mooch and crap. And crap, mooch and crap, mooch and crap. We just talking about games, no drama. That's how we do. MMC stays a show just for the people. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug to be a fiend to. Gaming is the #1 hobby we all keen to. Mooch and crap, bringing gaming opinions and facts. MMC is back on the map. It's the best for show, and that's that. It's MNC, it's MNC, it's mooch and crap. It's mooch and crap. MMC is back. MNC is back. It's back. It's back. And y'all already know.
Welcome to the MNC show, and we are live.
It's mooch and crap. Yes, we are live, man. Crap. I am very ecstatic to be here live with you guys. It's we started a little bit late, but we're gonna have a good time. I can promise you that. And there's a lot of very, very good stuff to talk about. I see people already asking about stuff in the chat, and we're going to definitely talk about it. We are at that point, Mooch, where we have these leaks and these things that are coming out more and more. From we had Sony actually announce their PlayStation 5, which we didn't even really get into yesterday on Xbox Nation, believe it or not.
No, we didn't.
We didn't. Like, we were so busy talking about everything else. So maybe we can jump into that a little bit. But from what I understand, that took Microsoft by surprise too. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we did get some leaks that Microsoft are letting out on purpose.
Yeah, I agree with you, Crap. And I think yesterday was another, we've said this all through the generation. They did it all through from 2013 till yesterday. The minute Microsoft has anything to announce, maybe of any kind of weight or something that they feel is worthy to their consumer, Sony goes and does that. They always, usually it's sales.
Yeah.
It's usually a sales update. This time it was a Cerny interview. And, it's interesting because just after that happened, leaks come out. Well, ain't that special? Ain't that
special?
So after that happens, what happens today? Now there's other leaks coming out that devs are not speaking out, but they're kind of saying, hey, guess what? Xbox has got a hell of a box coming out next gen too, Crap.
They do. And if you guys are just joining us, please like and share. And just so everybody knows, man, it's all opinions. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. I feel like I got to say that a lot. I'm not trying to sway anybody away from Xbox. I want Xbox to be successful. I want them to come out with some new IP for everybody to enjoy, to get people excited again. That's my mission. That's my main thing that I want. If you agree with me, hey, that's cool. If you don't, then that's cool too, because I'm still going to be covering E3. Mooch, we're still going to be covering E3
all day, buddy.
Yeah, Microsoft's the only game in town when it comes to E3, so I'm excited. I get to play new games. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to have. That's what I'm very excited about, and the fact that we're getting this information. So the PS5 kind of leaked out, and now we're having the Xbox Anaconda is quote-unquote more advanced than PlayStation 5 reveal. And we also saw from a good friend, I'm not sure we want to throw him under the bus, but he's a developer, said he was briefed on it, and there's a big advantage from one of the consoles. And we know which one he's talking about. Yeah. It's the Anaconda. Microsoft's next-gen Xbox console is more advanced compared to the PlayStation 5. Obviously, advanced could mean anything, but it's definitely means that it's more powerful and probably has a lot more going for it. So according to an insider who is very well respected and having other sources as well, he says the PS5 hardware details so far were exactly what we were hoping for, even beyond what many were expecting. Multiple insiders have now confirmed it's true. Xbox Anaconda will be more advanced as rumored, All this means is going to be next year is going to be an amazing for the fans of both. So as you guys also know, Mark Cerny did an interview with Wired, and PS5 specs include a custom AMD chip with a 3rd-gen Ryzen line CPU, and CPU used in PlayStation 5 features 8 cores, which I think is very important that they upgrade the CPUs next gen, which was a big bottleneck this gen for all the consoles because they used those.
I think that's where you're going to see the advantage, Crap. I think that's where the Anaconda is going to shine.
Yeah.
On the CPU, the new Ryzen. Is it going to be? This is the thing. We've been saying this. This is not about the last week. This is about the last, 6 months. We've been saying these boxes are going to be somewhat comparable. Really, it's going to come down to 2 things: games and price. And it's ultimately, day one out of the gate, Crap. We were talking about it last night, and I think a lot of people got to stop and realize what's happening here. This is a situation, folks, where this is not a stopgap. This is going to be an interesting time. Microsoft has to put all the weight on their shoulders and climb up the mountain, because if you've already got so many people on the PlayStation side, how are they going to bring people over? That's what I'm curious to see. Now, power is definitely one thing to go with. I mean, that's a big deal, Crap, because I know a lot of PlayStation fans that say, guess what? I'll buy an Anaconda and play the better multiplats on the Xbox, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, they're going to buy a PS5 because they like their they like their exclusives. Pardon me.
Yeah, they have very much very, very good exclusives, and obviously, I know it's not super good for awesome, but I think that VR is fun, and I think they're going to go with wireless VR, and it's going to be high fidelity VR, Mooch. And they even already talking about having AAA VR games, which is what you're talking about. You want, right? So I think that's something that we're going to see from Sony. That's going to differentiate Sony from Microsoft next gen. And I do think that Microsoft's teams will step up, and we're going to see some amazing games. I would just like to see them, since I don't know if they're doing none of us know for sure what they're doing, right? Is the Xbox One going to be forward compatible? We're going to be able to play those next gen games on our current consoles. That's a big question mark. It really does. If that is the case, it does eliminate the need for their consoles. But the fact that it's going to be so powerful is very intriguing as a hardcore gamer. So outside of that rumor as well, it was so much more impressive than the PlayStation specs, that they're saying that this thing is going to be between $600 and $700. I don't know how many of you guys watched my video I did at 1 a.m., but there's a paper going around Microsoft where they are tested the whole SAT edition thing. Everybody's wondering what's the deal with that, who's asking for that. Nobody's asking for that per se. Microsoft is testing the waters because they're trying to cut costs on their next gen hardware, and they're trying to see if it's viable for them to release their consoles without a disk drive and shave some cash off there, right? So that's what this is all about.
That makes sense. I mean, Crap, let's be honest. We're going into an era. Microsoft's always the first one out of the gate with the tech, or the idea of the tech, right? So they're coming out and saying, okay, let's see what happens here with a diskless Xbox, right? And see how that sells. It's a Trojan horse. Now, the problem is that I don't think they're going to get the numbers they want. They're not going to be able to get the census, if you will, Crap, that they wanted, because the price is the wrong price. Now,
and it's 6.5 years into the generation.
But around Christmas, when this thing drops to $150, $199, they're going to get their numbers. They're going to see if people are interested in this, right? Yeah. I still think they'll get their tallies. So, I mean, it's not irate.
Well, it only has 3 stores, though, and one of them is the Microsoft store, which there's 4 of them.
Right, that's true.
PMS true. Jordan says the Queen of Green grants you this gift. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. If you're just joining us, like it, share it out, because YouTube doesn't do that anymore. So please do that. And again, that's what they're saying. So between $600 and $700. So let's just say $600, and they can shave $50 off by having a diskless. $550 for something that's going to be so much more powerful than the PlayStation 5. I mean, that might work for me personally. I want the disc drive, because that's how I watch a lot of movies. And if you do want to do something backwards compatible, look, Ninja Gaiden 2, right? That's backwards compatible right now. They want $30 for that. Yeah, digitally. I have a copy of it. I paid. Right. You know what I mean?
Well, I saw somebody pick it up. I saw somebody take a picture. Another famous thumb made the internet today, holding the cartridge. I don't know whose it was. It was somebody. They were just trying to make it in the business. So they showed their thumb. I mean, I'll be honest with you, $8.99 though. They bought it used for $8.99 on disc. So I mean, physical media.
Yeah.
So my point
being,
physical, right? But this is the thing. Look. There's no way, Crap. Even with them trying to feel it out, there's no way they're getting rid of the disc drive. It's not happening. The
No,
Anaconda will have a
probably
disk
not
drive.
first. Which is weird because they can't come out and do that, especially since, did you hear Sony already announced they're going to have a disk drive?
Absolutely.
Right? Like, the reason why Sony announced that, right? Because Microsoft stuff, if I'm hearing about it, some small YouTuber, right? You don't think Sony's heard about that?
Absolutely.
And of course they're going to go out there. And the day Microsoft announced a diskless Xbox One SAD, they're going to come out and say, hey, we have disk drives. Yeah, that's not coincidence, people. Like, Sony knows stuff, Microsoft knows stuff.
Well, yeah, that's not normally a talking point, right? That would make that's not a good talking point. Like, hi, yes, I'm the co-creator of the PS5. Yes, we decided to put physical media, a disc slot in. That's not news. So the only reason they're doing that is it's a clear jab at what Microsoft was trying to pitch in the Xbox SAD.
Yeah. Hey,
that's what people tell me to say. You have to say SAD. So I'm saying SAD.
It's SAD edition. I'm sorry, man.
For you, the E is silent.
Yeah, it's SAD edition. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I mean, the edition is in there, right? Like, realistically, they should have just called it the Xbox One S or the Xbox One D.
Xbox One digital, yeah,
or digital, yeah, right. Like, that would have made sense to me. But the whole thing,
the one thing I don't get is I just don't understand the branding on that. I mean, it could have been done better. And it depends on what's going on with the price point. I don't know why they did that. I think Predator said it best last night, crap on the show. He said they've got so much of this in inventory. They literally made a new plastic skin. The fact that they left, the part that bothers me the most is not the price. It's not the name. The eject button's still there.
Yeah. And not only that, but the innards are still there. It's just the same size thing. Why not make a small?
It's like if you made a plane, you're like, it's not going to fly anymore. It's just going to taxi you from one end of the airport to the other, and you left the wings on. Why?
Exactly. Like, they should have just instead of using what they already had, make a smaller console.
Yes.
And make it more aesthetically pleasing.
We talked about this.
It looks like garbage. Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a bigger version of Apple TV, which I thought would have been pretty cool.
I agree. I thought that as well. I thought
I was yelling crap.
No, I don't know.
Get him off the show.
I don't know. Yeah. So, hey, hold on. Give me your jacket. Says this is pure speculation. Come on, guys. Why would they get rid of the disc drive next gen and piss off millions that still bought this gen? It's not happening. Listen, what do you think the SAD edition is all about? Do you really think that they're going to have disc drives forever? They're testing the waters, dude. They want digital. It's not have anything to do with streaming, by the way. They want digital because they make the most money off digital. Digital is expensive. It rarely goes on sale. And the developers get their cut. Microsoft gets their cut. There's no used copies, right? That's why they want it.
Listen,
they want digital.
Microsoft and Sony want that world, okay? I mean, there's no hiding that. But the thing is, though, they're trapped between a rock and a rock. You know, they're stuck. They have to continue to do the physical media thing, especially while Walmart, Target, and GameStop. We can all say, everybody loves to make fun of GameStop. But like probably
I don't.
I don't either. I think 80% of us are going to end up buying our new consoles there.
Yeah.
Because
you're going to be able to trade in whatever, like maybe you could trade in the X and get $250 towards an Anaconda, right? That's a hell of a deal.
I'll never get this. And I want to say shout out to Nephew in the chat. What's up, Nephew? But I'll be honest with you, crap. I never understood why people are like, you know what? I'll wait. I'm going to go ahead and sleep on this next generation launch. I don't need that. Yes, you do. If you have a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One X, even if you have an Xbox One S, believe me, Microsoft wants you to upgrade. So take the 250, 200, 175, take that money and run. Take that money and run. You know what I mean? Say, shout out to Yobi, by the way. Peace, love, life to Yobi. Awesome dude. Great guy in the chat. But I mean, that's the thing, crap, is I don't get it why people wait. If you can get $250 for your Xbox One X, and listen, we're sitting here talking about price. I think both of these consoles are going to be $500. I really do. I think they're both going to be $499.99. I don't see how you can't, right?
Hey, well, hold on. Daniel Lawson brings up a point. I'll let you finish your.
Go ahead.
He says, I think it makes sense that high-end SKU goes diskless, which is something people maybe didn't consider, is that Anaconda could go diskless, and then the Lockhart has a disk drive, and they're like options, right? So, I mean, what do you think about that?
Wait, I have to read it again. So I was in the chat.
He says, I think it makes sense that the high-end SKU goes diskless.
No, it doesn't. Because here's the reason. Listen, I want to agree with him. Was it Daniel? I want to agree with you, but here's why it's not. We're literally leaving, right? Let's say the console comes out next November. So October 31st, all that physical hardware you have, all of it gone. The physical disc is gone. No, they know that they have. And crap, Microsoft's the biggest component of back compat.
Yeah,
they're the biggest ones out there right now. Ninja Gaiden 2's light. Listen, Ninja Gaiden 2 might personally be a game that Mooch looks at people playing and say, I wouldn't mind playing that.
Yeah,
you know,
it's not a bad game.
I'm not a big fan of going back to 360, but guess what?
Yeah,
it looks
good.
Gorgeous.
It does. It looks gorgeous, and it's it's not bad. I think it was probably the last good Ninja Gaiden game. The third one certainly
great looking game.
Good. Yeah,
but
very difficult.
So how can they come out with an Anaconda top tier and get rid of that disc?
Yeah, I mean, look, they're probably not going to do. They're probably not going to do that at launch for sure.
No way.
I wouldn't.
Maybe they'll come out with an option. Crap.
Yeah, but because think about it, they can't even do two at SKUs. Imagine 2 Anacondas, one with a disc drive, one without. 2 Lockharts, one without a disc drive, one with. An Xbox One X, a Maverick S. That's too much. You know, that's way too much. You gotta, Sir X-Man says no disc, no sale for me. I'm a lot like that, Sir X-Man. Even if movies or whatever, you know, I think that makes the most amount of sense.
Absolutely.
I kind of want to talk a little bit about E3 because even though people are angry at Crapgamer for having an opinion, it's not always positive. Microsoft, they're doing E3. They're gonna get ready for this line, Mooch. The biggest presents ever for Xbox. Whoa.
Well, yeah,
I
mean, but they say that every year. That's fine.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying they're necessarily wrong. I'm just saying, listen, here's what we're gonna say.
I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Isn't the writing on the wall though? Crap, we're gonna see Halo Infinite, which is gonna be great.
Yes.
We're gonna see Gears. It's gonna be great.
Amazing, yes.
But then the question is we're gonna see Ninja Theory's game. Phil said almost that exact thing. So we're gonna see that, and then we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see whatever Playground Games may be working on, or whoever's making. I'm not gonna say. I know everyone keeps saying Fable, whether it's Fable or whatever it is. They're gonna have some sort of an RPG game, and that's great.
Yeah.
I guess my concern. If you want to say, well, where's the concern? Is if Halo Infinite is 2020. Gears is 2019, and we know Ninja Theory is 2020.
Yeah,
and the console comes out, right? And the console comes out in 2020. How long until we get more from Microsoft post 2020?
Yeah. Well, you know, you're gonna have like the Forza 8 or whatever it is, probably 2020.
I mean, I'm not a racing guy. That's a great game.
Yeah.
I'm not a racing person. You guys know that. I've been saying that for years. So for me, that's not a big deal. But I get it. You want to put it on the list? Put it on the list. But I mean, other than that, I'm wondering these other acquisitions, like you said, we kind of broke them down. Obsidian is doing a multi-plat game that's going to launch next year or late this year.
It launches this year.
Pardon me.
And then the head of that studio, the head of Obsidian, did an interview.
Yeah.
And he said verbatim, if they make an Outer Worlds 2, it's multi-plat because they have deals signed.
Well, I mean, that goes without reason. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, and I don't see Phil as the guy to try to block that anyway. But the only reason I even bring that up is because it means that we won't be getting anything exclusively from them for a little while. While you have a couple of smaller teams sketching out some ideas, you're looking at a very long time before you see anything in fruition.
Well, Phil said that to Larry.
Yeah, he's
said
future.
In the interview. He said, he said, please keep in mind that's the future. It's going to be a bit out, you know, and that's fine. Like, things need time to cook. I get it.
Yep,
I get it. So I mean that's why I see.
Hey, Phil, are we getting games in the future?
Yep. Yeah, Yep. Of course we are.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, hey, I can like here's the thing. So I'll go over a little quote from Phil about E3. He says, well, okay, Project X Cloud, I don't really give a crap about. Spencer mentioned that recent announcements, including the Xbox One SAT edition, are part of a strategy about putting the gamer at the front and center. Microsoft doesn't start with the device, pretty obvious, Mooch, part of my complaint, but thinks about the customers and what they want. They're driven by the idea that gamers want to play the games they want to play with friends on the devices they want anywhere they go, which... Again, I would love to know who these people are. They can just play games at the drop of a hat on the go. I get up, drive to work. I get, very little time to game these days, hour here or there. Certainly if I do have time to game, it's going to be on my console.
Right.
I do have like a 3DS and a Vita and a Switch, and I never have time to game on the go. So I mean, I don't get that, and they're chasing this kind of thing, but that's fine. Speaking of his recent trip to Japan, he explained that he loves his time at the studios and had opportunity to play their games early and talk to them about things Microsoft is going to present at stage. Yep. He said he's really proud of the partnership he's built, et cetera, et cetera. Talked about xCloud starting in January. Spencer's been carrying his controller and his smartphone around during his travels. Does he got a fanny pack we don't know of, Mooch?
So listen, I caught that part live, and I found this interesting. And I thought it was interesting, the game he chose to discuss. He said he was playing Destiny 2 while he took his trip to Japan and South Korea.
But he's in a room by himself.
Well, whatever. You know, I mean, my point being is
personal server too. So
I'm playing Destiny. Anybody who's played Destiny 2 in the chat or listening later realizes getting from light level 600 to 700 is like uber hours. And man, I don't know if I could do 100 hours squinting at my phone. I mean, he's like, I brought my phone. And Larry actually said, oh, you're in the beta. And he goes, no, the alpha. You know, he corrected him. He's trying to say it's a ways out. He goes, no, I'm in the alpha. I get new codes from the developing team is downstairs from me in my office. I get new codes as soon as it comes out so I can update real quick. He's trying it out. I'm not saying that's not a viable, fun option. I think that's a fun option, guys. I really do. But it's not really like all the people that are on Twitter and all the people that are listening right now in the chat and the people that are going to be listening to the show later. I mean, the reason you guys tune in and whether you agree or not is because you guys console game or PC game. And whether you console game or PC game, you either have a high-end 24 to 32 or 33 widescreen monitor or you have a 65 to 80-inch television. And it's the reason you guys are here listening right now. So I'm not saying that you guys listening are not going to take your phone on the road and play. Sure, it's a viable option.
Yeah.
I mean, right? Listen, I got news for you guys. I would much rather sit at my kitchen table and eat dinner, but every once and again, you got to take one of those microwave meals on the road. I get it. We got to eat. You got to eat.
Except for me, I never go on the road. I don't vacation. I don't do, you know what I mean?
You got cement feet. That's a you problem.
I guess. I mean, but it's just like, I'm like, he carries his controller with him. Like, couldn't he just bring a laptop with him? And
I think he's doing some testing crap. Let him test.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, he's like, he's playing Destiny, Strikes with Friends online. It's just a test setup. It's him playing, kind of with his own Xbox in the cloud. Figuring out latency when he was in Japan in hotels 8,000 miles away. Our solution is using Azure, so your server will be close to you, minimizing ping time, which can also be a problem because that's the problem we saw with the Crackdown stuff, why you can't partner up because you got to play close to a server with you. But say you have a friend in California, I'm in Florida. What's the solution to that? How are we going to play together, right? Like, that to me is a bit of an issue. He says, but I will say there's something magical about taking my Xbox experience with me. When I boot up, it's me, Phil Spencer's Xbox Live Gamertag. All my friends are there. All my messages there. I don't feel like I'm disconnected, and I can launch my games. He said that he's a product person, and he has to use the product to feel what he likes and what he doesn't in order to give feedback to the team. Then he talked about E3 plans. He says it's going to be interesting. We're the platform holder that has a live stage show, and it's kind of just us this year. I feel the responsibility of that, and I want to represent gaming. I feel it's an important time when the larger community, news, and other things are looking at the gaming industry at E3. I think at the time we pop up above a lot of the noise that's out there. With the whole team, we're taking the responsibility of being out there representing gaming and wanting to do a good job with that. Now, what I hear from that quote, and there's more that we're going to talk about in a second, is they're going to do a lot of third-party stuff because there's going to be a lack of those third parties there, right? Like, he's not just doing this for Xbox fans. He's out there doing it for gamers in general, which means, he really just wants to have a lot of games there, not necessarily exclusives. He's not hitting at exclusives per se. I mean, what do you feel about, like, he's just trying to do good for gaming, not necessarily what Xbox fans want to see.
I looked at it a little different, Crap. I see where you're going with that. I don't think you're wrong, by the way. I don't.
Hold on. Restored Hades says, Sup, Mooch and Crap, great show. I'm excited about E3 and Gears. Yes, E3 and Gears is going to go ahead.
It's going to be great. No, I think that I think what he's doing when he went out there is back when we first saw Phil was making amends with the Japanese developers. Not that he broke those ties, but formally different leadership had kind of neglected some of the Japanese developers. I think what Phil's doing when he goes out there is he's doing what he did. He got Sekiro, and he's got Kingdom Hearts 3. He's made some passes to get those games on Xbox. But clearly you can see that people are still there's a weird thing that the media says all the time. And I know all you guys in the chat are big time gamers, so you guys will know what I'm saying. But a lot of media says this, gaming media, and a lot of big time YouTubers say it. They're like, it's funny. I can go buy Sekiro, or I can go buy Kingdom Hearts on Xbox now. And they applaud it. They go, that's great. I'm glad Phil did that. And listen, people did buy it. But realistically, people go, it just kind of feels at home on PlayStation. And that's one of the things. So when he goes out there and he's getting these deals, I say that's great. That's great. Because guess what? Kingdom Hearts I had on Xbox, and I'm playing Sekiro on Xbox. So for me, bravo, Phil. Great work. I love it. But realistically, at the end of the day, unless he goes over there and opens up the checkbook and does what Sony did with Bloodborne and locks down a great company and has them make a game exclusive, which we know he won't.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing. When he says he went to Japan, I want to hear him say he negotiated, even if it's a year. Forget like Bloodborne where it's indefinite. Do a year deal where a game comes out on the Xbox like they used to. That's what he needs to do with Japan and South Korea. Going out there and just opening it up. Yes, it does do wonders. It does do wonders for your portfolio and for your consumer base. But if you're trying to get more people over to Windows 10/Xbox, well, you have to have, and if you don't believe me, guys, turn to Epic Game Store, right? I mean, let's just call it is what it is. And Epic Game Store went out and did this exclusivity for a year with now, I think, 4 or 5 of the top titles.
Yeah, including Borderlands 3.
Borderlands 3
it looks like Red Dead 2 as well is going to be exclusive.
Yeah, I mean, these are exclusivity works, guys. I know nobody likes to hear that in the game. Everybody wants to hold hands and light a candle. It doesn't work like that in any other business.
Hey, listen, I see a lot of people who are just joining, and I did cover this at the beginning. Like, you guys are on the $700 thing. Listen, they're saying between $600 and $700, and they're saying that the PS5 is going to be about $500, and that the Xbox Anaconda is well above that in terms of specs. So you have to figure between $600 and $700, and people are going, well, no, they won't do that. But listen, they're going to have a cheaper option. You're probably going to still be able to use your X or a PC. Microsoft really doesn't care, just like the X right now. Do you think everybody's buying the X? Probably not. I mean, most people that own an Xbox One own a S or a regular base model. Microsoft has that for the hardcore, and that's cool. But they literally do not care which version you buy, right? You're still going to buy the games for your console. So before you're like, oh, man, it doesn't make sense, I'm saying I could definitely see $599 as being the price point for that. If the PS5 is $499 and the Anaconda is $599, look, here's the thing though: the X right now in 2019 is $499, right? It's still $500.
Yes,
these things are coming out next year, and supposedly, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to either take huge losses or something's going to happen, right? Like, how can they? It's only a year, not even a year and a half away.
Here's the thing, and shout out to Xbot448 who made a great point. He made a great point yesterday to reiterate the fact that price is king, right? Price point is everything.
Yeah.
But my issue with this crap, okay, is you've got to look at it this way. The initial out the gate is what matters. Now the casuals end up buying later, but the casuals buy what? What's popular and the number one console. Hear me out. If Xbox Anaconda happens to be $599, which I do not believe, by the way, I do not believe that. If it happens to be $599, the PS5 is $499, and then the Lockhart, let's just say, is $399, okay? The thing is, though, we all have to agree the Anaconda will be the most powerful, then the PS5, and then the Lockhart. So people that are going to make the move to go from this generation to next, or be first-time buyers and get into the console world, the PS5 is still the most appealing. Because of the most powerful consoles, in air quotes, the PS5 coming in just a hair under is still $100 cheaper, where the Lockhart is going to have a couple of different things that put it way under the Anaconda. And we don't know what that is yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've got to wait and see.
Now, the Lockhart might be what the PS5 is, crap. Now, that's a horse of a different color. That's a different story.
Yeah, I mean, what if those are more
Right?
along the same, and the Anaconda is the 1X of next gen? You know what I'm saying? And they
Well, that's
launch
what
it
I'm
right at
saying.
launch.
Yeah.
Like
So
like they couldn't have launched the Xbox One X at that power in 2013 as an option. That thing would have been $800-900.
I know, but I got to be honest with you. I can't see Xbox having I cannot see any executive, Phil on down, standing on stage and saying $5.99. I mean, you're going to get, do you know what Jeff Keighley's going to do to you before that show? Can you imagine those tweets? It's going to be irate. It's going to be crazy. It's not going to work, crap. It has to be a situation where the Anaconda, even if Microsoft has to eat the 100, because I heard, I mean, listen, everything's rumors right now, crap. But I heard a rumor.
Well, that's what I see. Like people are like,
Sony's going to eat some of the PS5 cost. I heard.
Well, Sony has to, right? Like Sony,
that's what I
their
heard.
business,
I don't know.
Yeah, their business is that. See, because look, you have DJ Singh, and I hear what you're saying, dude. You're like, no way they'll do it. $5.99. You said the same thing in 2017 about the X, which it shows that you weren't paying attention. Because what did I say about the X, Mooch? I said $3.99. I was shocked that they went $4.99.
Yeah, we were all thinking 400 because Sony proved that was the sweet spot, and we were in a mid-gen situation.
I thought Microsoft was in it to win it. You know, a lot of people, you know, I mean, it's easy to dog them, and that's fine. You know what I mean? For my opinions, I'm still an Xbox. I love Xbox. I want them to have new IP, and I've driven this home multiple times. We haven't had a new IP announcement since 2015. I want that not just for me, but for everybody. Whether or not you get pissed off at me asking for that, I guess that's on you. But I feel like we deserve that. We've had a lackluster generation of exclusives, and Microsoft needs to prove that they're serious about it. I know they bought new studios, but again, I have to point out, I don't think anybody's really expecting much from places like In Exile or Compulsion Games. Those are more like B type, you know, and then of course Undead Labs is just going to make more State of Decay, so they're an IP factory like Coalition and 343 and Turn 10. So there's very little unknown that we have. They need more studios than they have, I think, and more studios that are ready to come out with stuff sooner rather than later. And that's always been my point. And I feel like people kind of get it confused with Xbox hate. It's not. They could do better. They're a $900 billion market cap. They could have bought some exclusives, and they haven't been able to prove that they can make a great exclusive on their own this entire generation. And if you go back to last generation, they didn't make Gears of War. They bought that from Epic. So when was the last game that was great that Microsoft made themselves? I don't know, right? They have a lot to prove.
They do.
That's always my point.
Yeah, that's where I'm watching the leadership, and I'm watching what they're doing, and I'm watching what Matt Booty's a new acquire, and he's very talented.
Yeah, you got so you don't have Phil kind of doing like multiple things. You know, you can have somebody running the studios and running the.
That's right.
You know, and not only that, but I feel like Phil has a soft spot for certain games and lets them slide. Right, like Crackdown 3. That's a Phil thing. You know, he likes certain games, doesn't like certain games.
He liked Phantom Dust. He liked Crackdown 3. And it's like, you know, that doesn't speak to 2019 gamers for the most part. Yeah. And you know, listen, guys, we have to stop, you know, no matter what it is, whether you agree with somebody or stop dealing in absolutes. You know, I mean, realistically, you know, well, that's not me. That's not how I feel. Well, I mean, nobody, not Xbox, not Sony, not anybody is speaking to one person. And, you know, I think that's the thing that comes. I'm just a little bit more concerned, like what we were just kind of harping on there, crap, is where will Xbox leadership step on, you know, I'm going to use the words the gas, okay? But I don't mean the gas as far as getting the games out fast. I mean just kind of step on it and be like, you guys need to do this type of quality. And they're fighting an uphill battle, crap. And I'm very anxious. I really am. I'm very anxious to see how games that are not Gears and Halo, because let's be honest, the Coalition breathe, eat, and sleep Gears, right?
Yes.
So
hey, they
Gears
got a
5's
great.
not going to be bad,
in my opinion. Yeah. Gears is going to be fantastic. I mean, it's obvious that Gears 5 is going to be absolutely amazing. Rod Ferguson is the guy. He's the guy that was there with the original Gears. That's in great hands. I have no doubt that that's going to be one of the best games of the year. Make no doubt about it. Still probably one of my favorite franchises. I'm looking forward to playing it. Hopefully they do some kind of beta for it because I'm very excited by it. You know, the new additions, they've changed some things. I'm interested in seeing this new, bigger world that they have. And by the way, if you guys are just watching, please like and share it. We would appreciate it. But I'm looking forward to that. We're going to see much more of that at E3, which I'm excited about. Halo, man, a 5-year development cycle for Halo. That's going to be nothing but good for that game, right? I've said for a while, just like you said with Forza, Halo needed to take a little bit of a break, you know, because they had Halo. I think like 4 Halo games in like a 3 or 4 year period.
Yeah, we had that discussion a year and a half ago, and the main topic of concern or topic at hand at the time was Forza, but it goes for Halo and it goes for Gears. I'll be honest with you, I love Gears. I'll be honest, I would rather Gears was not coming out this year. Let that cook. Let them do even more with it. But you know what? Listen, if Rod and the coalition are ready, so be it. So be it. But I just think that, like, man, I would absolutely love to see what Gears 5 looked like on the Anaconda and what that would have portrayed into and elaborated into.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're kind of being like, listen, Rod, are you going to be ready for 2019? He goes, yeah, sure, absolutely. And they're like, okay. So I feel like as great as Gears is going to be, and I think it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. I bet you the best is still yet to come when it comes to Gears, crap.
Yeah. I agree. I agree 100%. ATLR9 says, how did you like The Last of Us, crap? I got to say, the ending was much deeper and better than I thought it was. You know, I thought it was really good. I'm officially on board for the sequel. So really good game. I'm glad that I was able to sort of give it a chance. I was really looking for a really good narrative driven game, Mooch, because after I beat Red Dead, coming off like God of War, it was hard to play other narrative games after God of War. You know what I mean? Like Detroit was amazing. Yeah. And then I played Red Dead and I just was like, holy crap. And I've had trouble playing games since then, like focusing on games that have a narrative, and The Last of Us had a really good narrative. I still have some gripes with some of the stuff, but overall, I mean, that's just a masterpiece, and it's hard to really knock. Like, if you haven't played it, give it a chance, play it. Some people might say it's a little bit overhyped. I could see that, but it's absolutely a masterpiece. You know, there's no denying that. Come on, it's good. You know, I was wrong about it. So, hey, I have no problem, Mooch, admitting when I was wrong. I was wrong about it. Masterpiece. They did a really good job with it.
It's a great game, crap. Yeah. And I got to be honest with you, myself personally. So I beat it on PS3 and I bought the remastered edition. It's actually still in its wrap. I'm waiting. When they announce the release date for The Last of Us 2, that's when I'm going to play The Last of Us 1 in its entirety again on the PS4. Or who knows? It might be the PS5. It depends on when it's released. That game is just going to be, it's going to be.
I think we're going to get a Last of Us 2 release date on Microsoft's E3 day.
You know what? That wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
I'm telling you, I would expect
Sony attacks at night. They attack at night.
Exactly. Like that's going to happen. Who was it? Somebody says, oh, you didn't like the Crackdown 3 narrative? Ha, 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 ha.
I just think that, you know, Crackdown 3 is hashtag fun, but Crackdown 3,
it's not a good game.
It's a hard game to sell. It's a hard game. There's no way, in an interrogation room with a hot lamp, still wouldn't be able to talk you into buying it. It's a tough thing. You know, people go, well, look, you don't have to buy it. There's Game Pass. It's like, well, that's not necessarily, I think, what, you know. I mean, listen, when you're a developer or you're an artist of any sort, you know, I mean, you want people to buy your art, right? You know, and so Game Pass is it's a really, really nice thing. I think it's doing okay. No one knows how they're actually doing because they don't announce any numbers until opportune times. We'll find out. You know, we'll find out. I'm sure E3 will be full of numbers.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they announced 5 million. Hold your ears, Sully. 5 million players on State of Decay 2.
Oh, he knows.
Right.
Believe me,
I already knew that was coming. I already knew.
Oh.
Because I play with people all the time, man.
Sully has played with 5 million people.
I am.
Sully is like, hey, I'll get you into the game.
Anchored that game. I saved that game from destruction. That's right. That was me.
Sully is the mayor of State of Decay 2.
He is, man. He's God. I you know, one day we're gonna have to play with Tim Mooch on there. And see
listen, I'll get back on there again. I'm sure it's gotten better.
Yes, I mean
it has. It has a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but hey, props to that. I mean, I guess Microsoft saw something. Look, that's really, I can understand why Microsoft bought that company, because that game is perfect for games as a service and Game Pass, right?
Absolutely.
They can continually update it, and They could even do an MMO of that game if they wanted to. People keep buying into it and all that kind of stuff. So I could see that. But hey, congrats to them. It's not my thing. It was probably one of my biggest letdowns because they said it's a AAA game, dedicated, or that you're going to be able to play with your friends. And then the way that you play with your friends was weird. Like you can't progress your story.
Yeah,
if you're in, yeah, you can't even take back the rucksacks with you. Like, so there's really almost no point to playing with friends. That was the part that really kind of disappointed me, and the graphics also were nothing special. Hopefully they can, if they're going to do a third one, which they obviously are, hopefully they beef that up. Like I would like to see it should look like Dead Rising 3 or like
polish it up, a little bit. I mean, when the game came out, you'd go to shut a door and the door just disappeared.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, what happened? I thought you guys were working. I mean, listen, again, do you blame Undead Labs or do you blame leadership?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
I think it is a little bit of both. But I mean, like, if I'm the artist, the dev, and I'd be like, hey, guys, Sully, crap, guys, relaunch tomorrow. Let me just get a quick run at this gold edition you got going live. And then I go to shut the door and it disappears. Or I get in the car and like, it doesn't vibrate the controller when you rumble pack. I'd be like, guys, we're going live tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and nobody at Xbox said anything, and it's like, you didn't need to release it. Let them cook it for another 3 months and fix some of the small errors, or put it in a beta. I don't know, do something.
I agree 100%. I want to finish off what Phil was talking about as well.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
He was talking about what they're going to present at the show. He says, and this is his quotes, by the way, our new studios are going to have things to show, which is going to be awesome. Some new things that nobody has seen before, which will be fun. Phil, you huckster. Obsidian had a great show at the Game Awards with the Outer Worlds, and we're going to see more of that. So he's like, our studios, which is Obsidian, showing stuff we haven't seen before and showing off some stuff they're working on. Some stuff you're working on, that Outer Worlds, that's not exclusive. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that's more than that. Obviously, Ninja Theory is going to be there. He says it's been nice starting to work with these studios. They came in, and I think they're starting to see how big a deal E3 is for our platform. And I can see them getting excited about that. It's kind of different than being an independent studio. It's going to be exciting to see the studios. Yeah. It'll take kind of years to really have them fully integrated in and delivering the same way all of the teams do. That's because different teams are in different parts of the development cycle. But I think it's going to be really interesting to have those teams showing up this year and starting to show what they're building for us. So I think they're going to have Playground Games showing off Fable. And then I think they're going to have Obsidian showing off Outer Worlds, which is an exclusive. And also we're going to see Ninja Theory's exclusive game, which we saw some leak stuff about that today. They'll probably close the show with that. Other than that, I don't think we're going to see too many more surprises. I saw some people say, man, we really need to see like 3 new IP. I would take 2 new AAA IP and a Fable, right? Yeah. Like that would be fine with me. I'd just be happier than a pig in crap if we got 2 new IP, AAA, not indie stuff or not world premiere, Xbox exclusive for 24 hours. You know what I mean? I don't want to see that where some side-scrolling nonsense. Big AAA game, big banger. You know what I mean? Something to get excited about.
So you're expecting 2 new IPs?
Yes. I'm expecting 1 new AAA IP and Fable. I think most people would probably prefer more than that. I would prefer 2, but if your beggars can't be choosy, you know what I mean? Like for me personally, I think that I would rather see 2 or 3 new IP, but they won't do that, And
I think you got to give 2. I think after all this time, and people have been waiting, you've got the new console. Like you're going to be so it depends on So when you say new IP, of course that does not include Halo Infinite.
Yeah, brand new IP, like stuff we haven't seen. You know what I mean? Like when you just look at the new IP from Microsoft this gen, it's like, Sunset Overdrive I thought was good, but I mean they don't own that, so. It's like, Rise, Son of Rome, Quantum Break, newer stuff like Recore, Sea of Thieves. You know what I mean? Like that's the quality just isn't there.
Have it as you may, crap. The one thing that I scratched my head at when we said this generation where Microsoft stopped making games, there was a lot of money going into the Halo channel that they were trying to create. There was the Quantum Break show in between the game. And listen, the hindsight doesn't matter. I'm trying to talk about when we saw these things in between 2013 and 2015, and you saw these things all coming out, and you said, myself personally as a gamer, as a consumer, I said, wow, Microsoft, whether you like the game or not, that's a you problem. That's up to you. But I said, wow, Microsoft's doing something. It just amazes me because the game, whether you like, and I understand Quantum Break may not have aged well for a lot of you guys out there, and I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But Quantum Break, they locked down Titanfall, Dead Rising 3, Rise, and Rise was not my bag. That was not my bag.
Yeah.
Right? But it was a beautiful game. A lot of people did like it. And then you see what's been coming out lately, and you go, well, wait a minute now. This is after the new administration. And I say, well, what's going on? So like I said, my excitement when people go, I have faith in, Phil, it's not so much Phil. I think Phil is now doing more of the corporate job and doing more of the handshakes like he should be doing as the head of Xbox. Now I want to see what Matt Booty's doing. He's really the guy that, he's not on Twitter. He's not loud. He doesn't speak about his agenda. Okay, that's why I like him.
Yeah.
He's working. So I would actually like to see what Matt is able to do moving forward. And that's what excites me is somebody who's quiet, somebody who's working. You don't see the Sony guys on Twitter with their agenda, what they like, what they don't like, tweeting about sneakers, their favorite socks. This is what I ate yesterday. I like this martini. They literally just do their job. And when it comes down to it, I think a lot of people buy products from people that they don't know the CEOs.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
I agree.
So, at the end of the day, if you want to have a show like Inside Xbox and you want to, and I believe, what is the Sony one called? Stream, Play Anywhere, whatever they're calling it.
Pay to play.
Right. Like put people on there that are entertaining and show games. Have you guys ever walked into a GameStop? You see how they have the TV there? And they've got they used to have, I think it was Andrea Renee.
Renee used to
now
be
they have
there,
right.
Yeah.
And now they have. Now I think she's back up there with Good Time Games or whatever she's with now. Like she does the thing. There's a bunch of people. They have game. Quick little interview on the couch. Game. Quick interview on the couch.
Yeah.
That's great. So it is what it is. I think that's what they need to do and stop having the executives tweet. About how they're wearing a pair of sneakers that match their pants. Let's stop with all the nonsense. Get to work. And I have a lot of faith in Matt Booty. He came. Believe me, Matt Booty's getting paid a lot of money. Crap.
Yeah, and he's got to rein in a lot of studios. You know what I mean? Like honestly, he's their studio, and then there's going to be more studios. They've got to announce more studios because, like I said, a lot of the ones that they have, like Undead Labs, that's an IP factory. They're going to be working on, State of Decay for the foreseeable future. If Fable turns out to be a hit, Playground Games is going to be an IP factory. They're going to be working on Fable and Forza Horizon.
Right.
There's not a lot of change that could be there. So we kind of know what we're getting. There's very few dark horses. I think Ninja Theory is one of them. I think the Initiative is the other. And then I think Compulsion and Exile are going to be doing like these AA type games every 2 years, like clockwork, to get them into Game Pass, right?
Right.
And they're going to be average games. They're not going to be great. I don't think anybody's expecting, anything super amazing from those two developers. And I think that's fine because you need a good mix of stuff.
The Initiative has a hell of a star-studded lineup. Crap.
Yeah, they do. I'm sure they're going to do something nice in 4 or 5 years. Or 3 to 5 years, something like that, right?
Yeah, well, it depends. They said they're doing something small, or not small, pardon me, a series of small things, I think. Or maybe a smaller project. I thought the Initiative was being put together to have an unbelievable MMO-style games as a service in Game Pass type of deal. You know what I mean? Something like revolutionary, just, oh my God, I can't believe they put this team together. And now, listen, the only other thing that could have happened is what is possibly happening, and that this killer team is put together to make stellar, smaller games release every 3 quarters, every 4 quarters, whatever it is, and have something come out religiously that's just dynamite. And you know what, crap, it may only be a 10 to 15-hour banger, but it's something that people like.
Gabriel Hernandez says, who was asking for State of Decay 3?
Me. Sully is.
Sully!
Always. I'm at the top of the list.
What else we got in the news, crap? What else is going on?
We do got a lot, but we do have a couple voicemails.
Oh yeah, let's hit a voicemail.
So I wouldn't mean who do we got first up there?
First up is Juice Pouch.
We've got our good friend Juice Pouch.
Yep,
we can't wait to hear Yeah, we can't wait to hear what he has to say. Also, if you guys want to contact us on Skype, what's the show name there, Sully?
MC Show Live. Search for MC Show Live, then click on MC Space Show. That's us. That's our send us voicemail. Get it in by Wednesday, and it'll be on the show by Thursday. So.
Awesome. And you get entered to win stuff, so it's that easy. So please go do that if you wouldn't mind. And let's hear from Juice Pouch. Let's hear it.
Here we go.
Juice Pouch.
I had a problem with Juice Pouch's thing. Let's listen to the next voicemail while I fix Juice Pouch's.
All right, we'll go over to Suicide King.
Yeah, Suicide King is next. Here we go.
Hey, Mooch.
Soleil!
Suicide King here. Had some thoughts on Inside Xbox and Sony releasing the PlayStation 5 specs. I just thought it was weird how Sony threw Mark Cerny into this interview to get the PlayStation 5 specs out with no fanfare or anything. We know that Sony loves to steal Microsoft's thunder any chance they get. So I'm wondering if Sony got their wires crossed and thought that at Inside Xbox was going to have something there on the Anaconda, whether it be some specs or just a little teaser or something, and thought, hey, we need to be part of this conversation about next generation consoles. Hurry up and get our specs out there. When in reality, all Xbox did was release information on the all digital edition, which was like nothing. But then I put on the tinfoil hat and thought, okay, let's say that all that is true and Xbox was going to release something about the Anaconda, some kind of tease. And then with Sony releasing their specs, it made Xbox take that out of the show. Whether it be they weren't ready to show their specs or talk about that, or possibly maybe their specs didn't measure up and Sony caught them off guard a little bit. Anyway, I know I'm kind of reaching here, but I did think it was interesting. Hope you guys have a great show. Peace.
And that was Suicide King.
Well, I think Suicide King brings up some good points. I don't think that Sony thought Microsoft was going to do Anaconda stuff at that Inside Xbox. No. They knew that it was going to be the discless Xbox One. Absolutely. They just wanted to steal thunder. I mean, that's what Sony does. They play for keeps. I know everybody thinks that they're good friends and stuff because they get on stage together at the Game Awards, but the bottom line is Sony's livelihood is their console.
Hey, you know, crap, during the Olympics, all the countries walk around the flame together in the first couple of hours. And after that, it's war, baby. So I got news for you, right? It's not Microsoft. And you know, when Jeff Keighley did that announcement and he said, it took me 5 years to get these three guys on stage. First of all, you need a publicist then. You know, I mean, for God's sakes, these guys will come out there and do that. What does that show? That shows good faith in the business. It shows good faith. That was great. But realistically, these guys, especially Sony, they want to win. That's why they're keeping cross-play off of all these games. They literally got their back shoved against the wall to do it for Fortnite and soccer cars, you know? But, I mean, except for those two games, Sony doesn't want to do it. We saw that Sony didn't want to do it with Destiny 2. They kept cross-progression and cross-play off. Part of the deal.
Yeah.
So Sony's not out there to, like, that's why, you know, Phil tweets out, like, congratulations. And me and Yoshida went out yesterday and had a drink. Sure, no doubt.
Sure.
But, like, right? It doesn't matter.
Cigars, they're having a good time. You know what I mean? It's like, not to get political, but people don't think the Democrats and the Republicans are out there smoking cigars, having a drink, having a good old time together, laughing at us schmucks.
But even if they are, they're not getting along later.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I mean, later. It is what it is. It's business. It's competition.
Yeah, I mean, you don't think, what was it? Who was the guy that was the head of Sony? Jack Tretton. You don't think when he dropped the mic or whatever, that one, like, he knew what was going on? Come on.
Yeah.
Right?
And I mean, later on, you saw Jack Tretton in a picture with Phil and company, but realistically, that was when he was retired, you know, or whatever, like, or on the way out. My point is like, they want to win, and that's the one thing you have to do. You always have to be competitive. And you have to have that cutting edge. And I think that's what it was. Sony was just trying to steal a little thunder from Microsoft. Why they picked that, though, that's the one thing I don't understand. You know what I mean? You know, Rock Dog asked a good question, and that's to Sully, believe it or not.
What was his question?
I am working.
He says, hey, Mushy Crap, when is live calls coming back to the show? I really want to call in.
Because every time we get a live call through this OBS, everyone will hear it, and there'll be no pause for me to get the call ready. It's just like once they call in, boom, you're on. So it's
well, you know, Rock Dog, we'll work on that. Rock also said, yes, Phil's going to drop a huge surprise on crap at E3. That's great.
Hey, you know what? Listen, yesterday we did Xbox Nation, and it turns out Mikey Barra was actually in the chat. They listen. I've heard that before. I've gotten, I've corresponded with Phil and other people at Xbox. I don't hate Xbox. I want them to do. Everybody should want them to do better, man. One new IP, one new AAA exclusive IP announcement since 2015, or zero, excuse me, since 2015's Sea of Thieves. That was the last one. We should all want them to do something new, whether it's 2 years out or whatever. I'm not saying do one 5 years out, but 2 years out I think would be fine. Even maybe 2.5 years. You got to have some faith in your studios at some point. If Phil really does believe in these studios enough to buy them, have faith that they'll produce and actually release their games. And that's what I think people want. Now, you might go, well, crap, what was the tipping point for you? Because you've always been so pro Xbox. And I like Xbox, and I'm hoping they kill it at E3. The point that made me kind of had blood boiling was the thought of Phil Spencer up there trying to sell me 2 new Xbox consoles and then having not announced but maybe one new IP. One new IP, and they want to sell me new Xbox consoles already when they haven't given us any new IP for the X. Nothing really to showcase what the X can do, right? Like, he wants to sell us more. That kind of pissed me off, and I'm not going to lie about it, right? Like, we should all want the games. It's like they want to sell us this hardware, and there's nothing to take advantage of the hardware so far. So That's always my point. If you guys feel differently, that's fine. If you love playing multiplats, hey, that's fine. For me, what I find the exclusives do is they break up the monotony. They're different. And if you haven't given them a chance, like somebody I wasn't arguing with them because I've been blocking people on Twitter and YouTube and everywhere. I just have good conversations. And it was this Xbox fan, and we were having a good back and forth on Twitter. And he was like, we've had vastly different experiences on the Xbox end. And I said, I guess so. And it turns out this guy hasn't played any of these PS4 exclusives. And he didn't play any of the Xbox exclusives that I mentioned that were bad. So I was like, of course you've missed some of the best games of the generation on the Sony side, and you've missed some of the worst games of the generation on the Xbox side. Of course we've had vastly different experiences, right? So what I mean is we've had like these AA type games just kind of given to us. And that's why the reason Mike State of Decay 2 maybe wouldn't be received as bad if it had released in between a couple of AAA games, or Sea of Thieves released in between a couple of AAA games. But because those games are releasing as the main course, they're getting a lot of hate, and they're just not ready to be in the spotlight by themselves, in my opinion, right? Those should be like sub games. You know what I mean? Like, in between games, in between Halo and Forza, here's State of Decay 2. That's great, right? I think nobody would hate it then. But the fact that it comes out after a 8-month drought, and that, they claim that it's a AAA, that's the problem that I think people are having. But Microsoft obviously really believes in stuff like Halo, Gears, and Forza. I'm asking them to believe in other stuff and take a chance with other stuff. That's it. I'm not, down and hating. I'm not burning my Xbox. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm not like when people go, oh, you're switching. I've always played PlayStation and Xbox and Switch and all the consoles, and I'm just able to lately enjoy the PlayStation exclusives because they're so different than the multiplats that we're getting right now, right? Look at the way multiplats are going. They're all mostly going games as a service, which is what Microsoft is doing, right? So it's less uniqueism there. I don't even know if that's a word. If not, I just made it up. Uniqueism. Okay. So Microsoft is doing like these heavily multiplayer stuff, and that's fine because I like it. But at the same time, I feel like Sony's are more unique in taking advantage of their hardware. And that's what I'm talking about when I say exclusives really showcase what these things do. And that's what I want from Microsoft, right? Showcase what we can do. So,
yeah. Well, what do we got in the news, Crap? Anything going on in the news?
Yeah, I mean, we got quite a bit of stuff going on in the news. If everybody would be so kind as hit the like button, man, I would love to see, I would love to see 150 likes up there. Big Germ says, Crap Gamer, you shouldn't have to apologize about changing your opinion or having a fun YouTube channel for entertainment. The way YouTube is you got to have clickbait titles sometimes. Listen, I have fun with my titles. It's different than other people. Some people don't. I do. I like to be inventive, and I like to have a good time. And there was a time where I wasn't having as much fun. And I told Mooch this. Haven't I told you that before, Mooch? Like
Yeah.
there are some times when it's not as fun because you're up there and you're just parroting what's in the news, and that's not fun to me. I like,
everybody. Listen, I don't understand. The one thing I guess I don't get is like, I mean, it depends. Each person that you speak to is different, and nobody's wrong, by the way. Nobody's wrong, but everybody gets on YouTube for a different reason. Some people come on to report the news. Facts.
Yeah, and that's fine, man.
Facts.
I'm just not Rod Burgundy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? He's like San Diegans. I mean, to be honest with you, Crap gets on to entertain you guys. He likes to have fun. He loves the game. You know what I mean? It's not a defense lawyer thing. It is what it is. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I get it. But I mean, there's a lot of channels on cable you don't like, but there's a lot of people that do like it. And it's the same thing with me, myself personally. I love to come on. I love to talk about. I do like to talk about the news, and then I like to spin my opinion on it.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like if I was just giving a news thing, and I tend to name those pretty straightforward. I tend to put my opinion into the news as a title a lot of the times, and some people like it, some people don't. I get it, but it's my kind of spin on things and kind of fun. It makes me a little bit different than everybody else because unlike when I first started doing this. Everybody and their mother does this now. You get a microphone, you get your Blue Yeti. Next thing you know, everybody's Walter Cronkite of video games, and so everybody finds their place, and that's just all I've done, and I have fun with it, and I'm having fun with it again, and it's not flip-flop. It's like, why is it got to be flip-flopping? You know what I mean? Like, I like gaming. I like Xbox. I can like PlayStation 2. I want to see Microsoft put out quality games like PlayStation has consistently. So that I have more games to play. That's all. That's what I want. Like, I think multiplats are fine, but to be honest with you, I'm finding them to be, more Division, Anthem, not complete. Nobody's even on that game anymore. It's like the games that we're getting are just stuff that it's not interesting to me or as fun as the exclusives. Right? The exclusives are inventive. I played some Switch stuff. They have some really good exclusives on there. It's like that's not the only thing you play, but that's where you find the more unique stuff, and that's what I want from Microsoft. And hopefully they deliver some of that E3. I'm expecting them to hold back some stuff for next year, which I think might be a little bit of a mistake because they have all eyes on them and they can really sell people on a great future for Xbox if they go all out this year, right?
I mean, if the initiative has something, even if it's a 20-second CGI, I say show it. You've got such talent at the initiative that, like, I mean, would anybody even? I got news for you. I'd bet on them. That's how confident I am in the initiative. Like, I would say to the initiative, guys, give me a 20-second blurb, something real quick, and then give me a title, and put it out there, even if it's 2 years out. Who cares?
What's so funny is the back and forth, right? Speaking of 180s and back and forth, what in the world? Like, remember early on, Phil Spencer and company would show trailers for Crackdown 3 and all these games way early, like Phantom Dust. And now it's like they're so afraid of that stuff now, right? Like, you got to just go out of your comfort zone a little bit and not be afraid and have faith in your studios. And that's what I think they need to do. Don't show something 5 years out again, but I think fans would appreciate something maybe 2.5 years out or so,
Five's a bit of a stretch. I wouldn't go that far, but like I said, 2, I'll even listen. Crap, you want to stand on the ledge? I'll say
we're so
3.
dry. Yeah, 2 or 3.
It's not about the dry thing. I mean, Sony started showing these games that aren't even out yet in 2016. Crap, it's going to be 2020, 2021 for these games.
Yeah,
that's 4 or 5 years. So I mean, the thing about it was they had the reason that Sony gets away with it is they've had games coming out in the meantime.
Yeah. Well, again, and I say this and people get mad at again. When you buy an Xbox or when you buy a PlayStation or Nintendo console, you're going to get great games at some point, right? They may not come all up front, but at some point you're going to get something back for your investment into that platform, right? With Xbox, they're really iffy lately, especially this generation, right? Like, can you blame me after 6 years of this generation being a little gun shy and wanting something a little bit more because they haven't proven that they can make that consistently yet, and that's what I worry about. So
right, shout out to II in the chat. He says, "Crap and Mooch, you guys roasted Sony for a bunch of CGIs." Thanks for being around this long.
Yes, we appreciate you.
That was like 5 years ago. Listen, that was also at a time
they never forget.
No, they don't. God bless you. I mean, to be honest with you, though, the reason that was Microsoft was then showing games. It's the reverse now, right? So it's reversed. So now you've got Sony showing they're still doing their CGI thing, and then each year you creep closer to it to show more and more gameplay. What I'm saying is this: you had Nintendo come out and say Metroid 4. It was like, all right, everybody shit themselves.
Yeah.
Right? It was just a title, a little bit of a smoke machine on stage, and off they went. And it was like, holy shit, we're still talking about it now.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, take it a step further. We're in a different era. Nobody can compare 2013 to today. You can't compare 2005 to today. You can't compare the Sega system or the Nintendo or the SNES to today. Like, the console wars of the 80s and 90s are not the console wars of today. And it's a different world. It's different than 2013 feels like yesterday, doesn't it? For all you guys that have been here so long, it feels like yesterday. Man, I got news for you. As far as technology goes and gaming in general, it's almost like 2 decades past. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Really. We were talking about 900p, 1080p, and now we're talking about 4 and 8K, just whether it be comical or not. I'm just saying. So you really can't say, remember when you said in 2012? Yeah. I mean, yes, I remember. But that doesn't mean that's not relevant today. There's certain things that are relevant from the past, but this is not one of those cases. Technology is moving at the speed of light. I mean, remember 2012, 2013, 2014? People were like, that'll be the day my phone folds in half. Now your phone folds in half.
Yeah.
They have it. You can buy it. It's expensive, but you can buy it. And I mean, it's just like that. That's what. So what we joked about and kid about in 2013 isn't necessarily going to hold water in 2019, 2020. It's not crap.
Yeah. I agree. You know what? Like, I agree 100%. And that's what I'm saying. It's like people act like once you say something, you're never allowed to have a different opinion after that. Yes, it's there. It's done. That's it. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous considering we're humans and our nature is to change your mind. And that's part of growing as a person. If you're so stubborn that once you say something, you feel that way your whole life, I feel sorry for you because
there's a lot of people when they were younger, they didn't like tomatoes, crap. Now they love them.
Exactly. Life
what
is
does that
all
mean?
about
Were you
change.
full of shit your whole teenage existence?
Yeah, I guess you're a fraud.
Imagine somebody walks up to you and says something to you. You know, like you actually go up and give a presentation at work and somebody goes, "You're full of shit, man." Why? You said you hated tomatoes and I saw you eating them in your salad yesterday. Boo that man.
Boo. Yeah, exactly. That's what
How
I'm saying,
dare
man.
you?
So,
I mean, guys, everybody I know, everyone I've talked to in the world, the digital world we exist in, everyone has said they didn't like something and they changed. It doesn't matter what we're talking about.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. And that's exactly my point is, you know, it's like they want to roast you, man, roasted because you said this back in on February 2nd, 2014 crap. So now you're full of crap. Exposed. Like, who cares that I changed my mind about something or decided to give something more of a chance, right?
Yeah.
If everybody, look, here's the thing. If you're an Xbox fan, I'm right on par with Xbox, man. They're kumbaya. They want you to play those PlayStation. They don't care. They love it. They advertise PlayStation games, don't they, Mooch? Hell, you got Mikey Barra streaming them. They want it. I'm following their example.
That's what I'm saying. This is the whole thing. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, shout out to Mike. I mean,
how can you be mad at me for that when they're doing it?
It is what it is. I mean, going back to CGI, 70%
of that, Mooch. Speaking of that, when I bring up that I was mad that they were advertising Sony shit, they hated on me and said I was wrong.
That's right.
But despite the fact that Microsoft themselves are doing that. Now, because I've decided to play some more, give some PlayStation games a chance, I'm still bad. Like, I can't win sometimes. You know what I mean?
It is
like Bob Dole.
Poor Bob. But listen, I got news for you. You know, I mean, going back to CGI crap, 70% of the movies we're all buying tickets before they even come out for are CGI. Yeah, right? They're computer image. And I just, my point being is like, I don't think we should any way, shape, or form be like, oh, you said this. And I mean, we've all said things. I mean, anybody can call your friend up and be like, this guy didn't like that? Yeah, he told me he didn't like that. Yeah. Well, how old was he? 21. How old is he now? He's 50. God bless that son of a gun. I mean, what the hell's going on? Yeah, so, I mean, it comes down to the matter of the fact that we are doing the reason we do 3 shows a week is because there's that much news and things change, guys. Like, things change.
They do all the time.
We never thought, right, in 2013, 2012, for all you guys that are like, oh, no, you said this. Nobody said in 2013 we were going to get mid-gen consoles.
Yeah.
That was unheard of.
Yeah.
And everybody, you know what other people were saying? I would never buy that. No way. I couldn't see myself doing it.
I was saying that.
Well, crap, you're not the only one.
I know. But it's like this, Mooch. You had no interest in Crackdown 3, thought it was going to be horrible, and you ended up liking the game, thinking it was hashtag fun.
Game. It was hashtag fun. Now, would I sell it to anybody in the chat? No.
No, of course not. Yeah.
I don't even have a sales pitch ready.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like you're able and entitled to change your mind about something. Hey, Spider-Man, swing to the left, swing to the right, and you ended up loving that game. Yeah, exactly. So look,
I do.
You can change your mind, and I think that's fine. Everybody can. I'm not saying Xbox is bad. I'm not saying PlayStation. I think they're just games, and the more games we get, the better. And the exclusives give us more incentive to go out and buy something. I mean, when we were doing Xbox Nation yesterday, and you asked Luca, "Hey, Luca, are you going to get an Xbox Anaconda?" and she says, "No, I'm going to get a PS5." Right? I mean, that says all you need to know.
And she loves her Xbox One X.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? They have given you pause to buying their next bit of console. So, hey, is Juice Pouch thing ready there, Mooch?
Actually, no, it's not. I'm gonna have to play it next week because OBS told me it's corrupted the file, so I can't play it. So sorry.
Corrupted?
Yeah, I don't know why. I loaded it up like I do all the time, and it says it's corrupted, so I can't get it to start. I can, but I have to restart OBS, but there'll be a lot of dead air. So.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
We'll just wait till next week.
Yeah, we'll just wait till next week. No worries. We do a little bit of an abbreviated show because we try not to step on anybody's toes, believe it or not. Much respect for all the other podcasters out there. The Salty's Gaming Podcast at 9. So
yeah, Salty's going on at 9. Go check that out, guys. Crap, I'll be honest with you. We had a show last night. We got a show tonight. We've got Crossfire tomorrow. Got a great panel lined up. That'll be 7 p.m. Eastern time on the Mooch 78. And crap, I'm also going to be, I said it in the beginning of the show. I'll say it again, crap. I'm going to go from Saturday till Thursday and try my damnedest, since everybody's taking notes, to beat Sekiro on Twitch. So it's the same thing. The Mooch 78 on Twitch, guys. Check it out. Send me a follow, guys. Hang out. I put a lot of time into that channel, or however you want to call it, the Twitch channel. It's a lot of fun, man. I love it. And crap, I'll tell you something. It's addictive. I actually am at the point now where I don't want to play games unless I'm streaming. I love it.
I know, dude. It's you're damn good at it. Hey, look, we got Phil Huckster in the chat.
I saw that. That's fantastic. I love it.
I do, man. It shows that they listen though, because I was calling him that. It was actually Huckster Phil, and I did some kind of.
Phil Huckster better.
I blindly randomly remember doing some kind of speed talking like the Micro Machines guy yesterday about that. But, it seemed pretty damn funny. People were saying it was hilarious. But I appreciate everybody. And we're going to see you guys next week. Please call, leave voicemails, support us on Patreon, all that kind of good stuff. Thank you guys so much. Like it, share it out. We love you guys. Xbox is going to be fine. We're going to look forward to their E3. We're going to be covering their E3. PlayStation's good too. Nintendo's good. If you like PC, cool. Good for you. That's great. Right. You know what I mean? It's gaming's gaming. We do talk shows. We talk about this stuff. I've gotten to the point where I'm going to give my opinion. Hopefully you guys are okay with that. I love interacting with you guys. So give me your opinion too. And as long as we keep things civil, I have no problem with that. So with that being said, Sully, can you take us out?
MNC
everybody.
It's MNC. He gon' rack it up, get your game on.
Yep,
and he gon' bag it up. Y'all know what Mooch on, Mooch and Crap. Mooch and Crap. Mooch and Crap. Mooch and Crap. It's that time to get ready for the MMC show. Grab your coffee or your liquor, cause we ready to roll. They talking games, custom gadgets, and you already know. Dial that number, leave them questions, and away they go. Be a pony or a bot, the truth be it don't matter. We just gamers talking games, not those drama queens matters. So let's talk about gaming, news, leaks, and reviews. This a fan show on whatever topic y'all choose. True Xbox fans, and y'all know we bleed green. Yet we got every console we can play, everything. Got that Forza, got that Halo, got that Fallout, got that Kratos, got that Zelda, got that Spidey, got that AC, got it Ike. Mooch and Crap. Mooch and Crap. Mooch and Crap. Mooch and Crap. We just talking about games, no drama. That's how we do. MMC stays a show just for the people. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug to be a fiend to. Gaming is the #1 hobby we all keen to. Mooch and Crap. Bring gaming opinions and facts. MMC is back on the map. It's the best for sure, and that's that. It's MNC. It's MNC. It's Mooch and Crap. It's Mooch and Crap. MMC is back.